Good morning. I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at our midday livestock trade with livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And Kyle, markets currently are down right now. Tell me what you see for trade here today.
Well, it's a good question, Lacey. I think a lot of folks are sitting here wondering what's going to happen with the strike here out in Greeley here today. Haven't heard much on that order. A lot of folks are talking about this might be a little bit of profit taking here after a decent week, but I think cash is somewhat coming out bid and disappointing right now. I don't look for us to trade much until after the close, but most of the bids so far have been 245 here in Nebraska and 380 on a dress basis here by some regionals and a few majors bidding that as well too. So I think if we could get that bid up there a little bit, that might help later on. But it's kind of following the same pattern it has the last few weeks, where we sell it off on Friday and then it charges back here on Monday. So we'll see if that's the case. But we do have cattle on feed report here after the close here today, so I'll have those numbers here later on. We'll talk about that later. And then also we are kind of getting some word about this Supreme Court of the U.S. kind of rejecting Trump's tariff deal. So kind of all commodities backed off here when that ruling came out earlier here today. So a lot of moving parts here as we round out and finish out the week here, Lacey. So we're still waiting on some good confirmable cash trade, but it looks to me like a little bit of profit taking and some position scoring here today on a Friday.
Thank you, Kyle. That is livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted with a look at our midday trade here on the Rural Radio Network. If you'd like to talk to Kyle about the livestock markets, call him at 308-708-7340. Do you remember that trading of futures and options involves a substantial risk of loss and may not be suitable to all investors? And taking a look just at those cattle on feed report estimates before that comes out this afternoon. Estimates for the cattle on feed for February 1st are at 98.5% of a year ago. Placements in January are estimated at 96.7%, and marketings are at 87%. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.
Struggling with corn rootworm, equipment clogs, and costly slowdowns? Say hello to Apello, a new soil-applied insecticide from Syngenta. Powered by planazoline technology, Apello is a smooth, tank mix-friendly formulation that tackles rootworm with ease. Say goodbye to the past and hello to bigger bushels and better returns at brighterwithapello.com. Always read and follow label instructions. Apello is a restricted-use pesticide.
On the hunt for lost ROI? Chart a course and find hidden profit potential with Acuron Corn Herbicide. It's the only herbicide strong enough to bury competing weeds and help you unearth 5 to 15 more bushels per acre. How's that for hidden riches? Uncover the real value of Acuron at Acuron-herbicide.com. Acuron is a restricted-use pesticide. Always read and follow label instructions.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network for a look at your markets. The U.S. Supreme Court has thrown out President Trump's tariffs in their ruling that was released this morning. We haven't seen much fallout in the futures market with that ruling yet, but soybeans and soy oil continue to slide. Wheat futures and especially soy meal are on a rally as we move towards the weekend. The soybean and product markets are working on correcting some overbought conditions, and there could be some sorting out of the tariff ruling as well in there. Weekly export sales for last week were softer, and we haven't seen any kind of purchases from China this week. Wheat futures are higher, with Chicago leading. Wheat markets are getting a bit overbought after the recent run, and weather for the plains looks to stay warmer after the brief cool down, with better moisture possibilities for the north. And the corn market is still fairly quiet, though it has come up slightly since the court ruling this morning. Weekly export sales came in at 1.47 million metric tons. March corn is up 1.5 at 427.25. May up 3.5 at 439.75. March soybeans down 1.25 at 1139.75. May down 3/4 at 1155.25. March Chicago wheat up 12.5 at 572. May up 12.25 at 579. Kansas City March wheat up 10.5 at 576. May up 11.25 at 588. March soybean meal up 7.50 at 312.30. March bean oil down 90 at 58.78. April live cattle are down 85 cents at 242.55. June down 72 at 238.15. March feeders are down 107 at 369.20. April down 130 at 366.30. April lean hogs are up 42 cents at 93.87. May up 67 at 98.